In less than 300 minutes, over 250,000 people would die. With no emergency system in place, these are the images that we saw. Only because these were third world developing countries did we lose so many. For me, these images represented another example of the disparity between the rich and poor countries. It was hard for me to believe that I was there just 2 years ago, celebrating with the people, being part of their morning ritual, watching them bathe and be a part of life in a way I knew not. I recall where the morning sun once brewed, where the ships sat and comfortably stewed. These are and were the images I once knew, the faces of where the waves of tsunami would tear into and undo. Mamalaporn. Pondicherry. Chennai. Nagapatikam. Kanayakamori. Oroville. The entire coast of Tamil Nadu. And Kerala were ripped into. Some of the faces that I saw were surely amongst the dead. Women and children accounted for most of the deaths, for it were they who were down by the sea, selling their goods, and when the tidal wave receded and the fish jumped about, the children ran out, only to be swept away when the waves came and later brought back to the shore. And for the fishermen who survived, their livelihood did not. And with over 1,089 villages affected, so would their strong communities, the very communities that held them together. But now they were gone. They would have to look outside their communities into something foreign. This is where my journey starts. I wanted to help. I didn't have much money, but I have a big heart, know how to network well. I had developed a strong program for the kids of the orphanage and the NGO affiliates, and I can always rely on my sense of humor to get me through the day. The Middle East is blessed with social structures, which really dictates social gatherings and togetherness. It is one of family and sharing, laughter and crying.
My auntie house is tsunami.
Yes. So they had to come here.
Yeah, and there's no things here. Anything is
All gone. All things lost.
9 people died.
9 people dead.
Yeah.
In the East, in India, it's not shameful to cry. It's not shameful to be part of a process that hurts.
Yeah, I saw those. It affected a lot.
So when I arrived in India, I knew not to impose my Western beliefs on how to fix the Indian people. The program I would need to create then would need to be one that supported their process and their flow.
Hey, this is a little different. I'm interested.
Because to be invited into these communal gatherings would be in itself a blessing.
Can I come back?
Yeah.
There, here, there.
Take the
Take the rock.
I knew I could only offer to be but a spice of love and support, while witnessing and being part of their communal recipe, whose main ingredients were integrity, respect, sharing, and support. I would bring 2 others with me to help out with the program, film, and watch it unfold.
Right here. I live here. She lives here. And my other friend, Jamie Lee, she's from there.
Is that California?
California.
The program was one of simply love and support, a human condition the Indian people certainly welcomed. I would share my story of why I felt called to come to them, and then we'd open up the day to share cultural song and dance.
This song is about the sea wave, because children are worried about this, afraid of these waves of the tsunami. So some of them, this lyric is on the sea waves. So it's a small waves, it is helpful to our people, fisher folk. So we should not have any fear over these waves. That is the main theme of the song. 4 plus 4, 8. So he built some castles in the sand. They say that 5 plus 5 is 10. Bhakti means 10. Sotti means property. Bhakti means 10. Sotti means property. So 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. C is our wealth. C is the receipt.
Okay.
C is our wealth.
She's okay.
I will like that dance.
For my dance? That you want to learn? Okay.
And beach
Like this? This go? Yeah? Okay. Okay, now you do this, kick out. And kick out. Like that. Maybe the elbows. Shoulders good.
And then we have real dancers. And when we weren't dancing, we were clowning. Either me with them, or they with me, or we'd be drawing.
Boats? Flag, Indian flag. What is this? Yes, Indian flag. Flag.
And in between all the entertainment, I would interview the experts about their projects and the process.
Basically, that CRY is an Indian organization, Indian NGO, and we are at present working for 13 states of India. We are working for the child rights. Basically, we are working with the partners, grassroots level partners. CRY is not directly intervening that programs at the grassroots level. We are partnering with grassroots level NGOs in various places in Tamil Nadu and all over the country.
It was CRY who took us under their wing as we traveled through the tsunami-affected areas.
So we facilitate the process. Yes. So we are very good in that. So we have a very good expertise where to scan the environment, to get best from the environment, internalize it, digest it, then give it back, and also help the people with a different kind of a process, with options, the way how they can move to get these processes.
Okay.
That is the uniqueness. Other organizations, they get into direct involvement, direct intervention projects. So they do directly doing some sort of relief work.
This is tsunami affected area. There is, people are staying there.
Yeah.
Huts are there. Temporary shelters.
Okay.
For them. This is the most affected, one of the most affected places.
Sorry.
This is New Kalpakam. This is the temporary shelters.
Okay.
Outside this heightened focus of tsunami-affected areas, Cry addresses geocontextual issues such as child trafficking, high retention, malnutrition, high infant mortality, and other issues relating to the child's right to survival, protection, development, and participation. In this smaller village, this fisherman tells us what happened. He says that when the first wave came, the water level rose in the village without much current. So most of the people in the village safely relocated. It was the second and third wave that were the worst, destroying lives, housing, and habitat.
The government says that for the first instance they say that they should be relocated in a place which is 500 meters away from the high tide line. Okay. And the old houses will be demolished and handed over to the government.
With the government imposing relocation plans, displacing fishermen villages 500 meters or more away from the sea, the livelihood of these villagers is severely compromised.
There is a strict legislation, law-wise existing. No construction within the coastal areas permitted within 500 meters. It was there. Now government is trying to grab this opportunity and say that no more new construction. They are using tsunami as a kind of an opportunity.
I see.
All the rich people, you take the resorts, they are all built within the 500 meters. That has been well permitted.
But there is a
Not only are their boats and fishing nets gone, so is their fishing habitat. And with the government not allowing them to fish or reestablish their lives by the sea, questions on how they will bring in income or even eat are affecting the rehabilitation of not just community, but of how they will rehabilitate their confidence as well.
From the sea. So that cannot be operated.
So they're being displaced, basically.
Yes. Because the fishermen used to see by seeing the color of the sea, they locate this fish is going, the school of fish is moving from this direction to that direction. Then they used to go and catch the fish. When they go far away from 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, that is not possible. Who are going to save the children?
Yes, who is going to save the children? We went later to another NGO who explained their process and how they work with the children and the community people.
900 families living here. When we after tsunami, from the first week started working with these communities, identifying the immediate needs like provision of some cooked food for temporary shelters in few places wherever it is needed. Later we also try to help them in reconstruction of their livelihood, like getting their boats and engines repaired, and then provision of new nets for the fishermen. And we are also concentrating on women. Women also go for selling fish. So they also lost their, so because it was at 9 o'clock in the morning, 8:50, 9 o'clock in the morning, that is the time they normally go and purchase fish from the boats. So as they were in the shore, they lost all their belongings. Everything was washed off. So to cater to the needs of the children, those who were affected by the tsunami waves, so that they can come out of the fear, out of the trauma. And then we also had some few counselors coming from different organizations to sit with the women and to discuss with them, to help them out to come out of the trauma. So now the psychosocial centers, the need was almost over, because now they are back to their regular stream of life.
It amazed me that these people were back on their feet and well on their way back into life just 6 months after the tsunami. But that's because they rely on their community as their social security, their insurance, and welfare programs.
Yeah, community has got really kind of a tremendous potential, and it's really good. We have that itself is a kind of a very strong social protection network. But as you said, the negative implications are also there. The negative implications are, since the community has got a stronger control over an individual life, where the individual's decisions also mostly depend on the community. In our country, there is a kind of limitation to that, because always the individual life process is encircled with the community and certain aspects of it. There is good in it, there is bad in it.
Feels to me like an insurance policy. You know, back in the States we have this outside anomaly, it's called insurance.
Exactly.
But here you have to rely on community to get through a tsunami or something like this. Would you say it's true?
I gave the same example to my school when I was studying. I say that when you talk about social protection networks, in Western countries, independence is something which is acknowledged, which is seen as very good. But we believe in other ways, interdependence.
Interdependence, right.
And in your case, because of, as you exactly mentioned, your social security is very good, which makes an individual to take their own decisions. It's very strong because you're not depending on anybody. For us, really the insurance itself is more social. That means my family. We don't have health. For everything, we rely on the family itself. Suppose if something, even if we go to some kind of a very personal, simple examples, if something happens to a member in a family, only the other 3 or 4 people, the brothers and sisters, are the first people to come for a rescue. That means I depend on them. I have to listen to them. There is a kind of a very strong bond and relationships which dominate and which influence on each other's life.
I witnessed firsthand how true this was when I went back to see my friend Shiva Kumar, the stone carver.
So in America,
I didn't know at the time that his nephew had died in the tsunami. But when I got there, it was very clear that it wasn't just a nephew.
the site of where he's buried.
Yeah, it's a bird after
he's buried.
People
Yes.
to show.
So we just show respect. We put flowers on the site and things like this, yeah?
But here, just the dead, just that time, then people coming put flowers.
I see.
But yearly one time,
only one time
they go
I see.
to see.
So you don't need to go,
Hey, it's a passing when you forget.
Transition.
Yeah. If it be to get remembered, I get so sadness.
Yes.
Because he is a very clever boy, and he is very very funny and very clever, very nice. And when we start remember, we again feel the sadness. So it's passing things to forget.
Yes.
So
To move on.
Right.
Nijathan, his nephew, age 9, represented a part of him, a part he had lost. The joy, the playfulness, the hope.
Your eyes look like he's crying. He's crying like he's
Crying? Yes, makes me sad.
And the other death was of a woman who stayed at the very resort I did just 2 years ago when I was on pilgrimage.
In the room?
Yeah, before the room.
You were here when it happened? But one woman died? There's a woman died here?
You know that?
Yeah.
From this cottage.
In that cottage she died?
Number 3, yeah.
She was washed away?
Yeah, morning, 9 o'clock is breakfast time, no? Everybody's gone to a restaurant. That's why everybody's safe. Only one woman is inside the room. They take shower.
She was taking a bath and...
Yeah.
I love the countryside watch.
I kept my agenda pretty well open so that I could just go with the flow of India and allow for a lot of adventure.
It's good for the soul.
So, yeah.
Soul.
So.
You know soul?
So what?
Spirit, soul.
Spirit.
It's good for the spirit.
Yeah. There is the road is going. I take all the roads, but sometimes the road is missed. This is the road is good.
Yeah, I don't see much of a road here.
Yeah.
I would have some good times with Shiva Kumar and his friend Sala.
That's such a good idea.
Yeah, sometimes you watch all the area,
Oh, okay. Gas didn't you fill it up?
Yeah, you put it gas.
We went motorcycle riding and broke down several times.
This was blinking when the gas was going.
அப்படியே அடியாண்டா mechanic.
Let's take it to a mechanic. Is there one around here? Jump start it. He's got a special touch. He said he's been driving for 5 years.
I don't know like that.
But this is a problem motorcycle. Because it stops.
I don't know what's going on.
Speed brake, you come slowly.
Speed brake, slowly.
Watch out.
Maybe you should drive.
The boys would take us all over the countryside and some places we didn't really want to go.
What happened after? I
But
just
we had
drive
fun.
and come
And when you're in India, you gotta just go with the flow.
No, I did many times before.
Yeah.
I take bike driving. Never happen like that. Yeah, I'm never checking. Never happen. But
And so we journeyed to find ourselves a little toddy.
yeah.
Cool. I don't know. I'm gonna have her try first.
I only want a little bit.
You try a little bit how you feel like.
Hey,
Oh, sorry.
nice one.
Try.
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 This is like beer.
Okay.
It's like fermented coconut milk or coconut juice.
Yes, madam.
Very good. Oh, that's personal opinion.
Shiva would challenge us once in a while with his drunken escapades and indecent proposals, but I had to be reminded that his nephew just died, and in fact was the only native to have died in this little village called Mamalapur.
The one more waves coming, very strong, big waves. The one children, they see water throwing some tree.
Threw him or her into a tree.
Yeah, one children. And my nephew, the children, they gone in the sea.
He missed the tree. Right.
This journey to India was indeed a marriage between two cultures. And what I would come away with was that life in itself is complex. There are no easy answers to pain and suffering, just as there's no easy answer to what makes up happiness. The true marriage between these two cultures did not come in my search.
Goodbye. It was nice to know you, my friend.
The true marriage came when we forgot. When the Indian people forgot that I, as an American, represented richness, and when I forgot that these people of India had suffered so much. It was when we spoke heart to heart that a true bliss was found. The one thing that I know that we do have in common is that we all yearn for something, for that which we do not know. So once I became aware of this and removed myself subjectively, I recognized I was an American who represented a kind of freedom and material abundance the Indian people sought. And so I wonder, as the technology comes into India at lightning speed, where the bridge of the industrialized material world is being built, and where there are devices to occupy one's time, will there be less time to be part or within their sacred communities? I thought it interesting, however, that the very thing that I sought, that being community interdependence, was the very thing that some of the Indian people were willing to sacrifice. So to have what I have, access and opportunity to abundant resources. And is it fair for me to be disappointed that some of the Indian people are only doing what it takes to compete in the global economy? And at the time of this edit, I learned that certain orphanages were allegedly involved in illegitimate administrative practices. But does that make them evil? Or are they mirroring aspects of my own country that I do not like, but belong and take advantage of the opportunities it creates?
Good, thank you very much.
We still will say goodbye.
We were seeking the same thing, really, a greater sense of happiness and freedom. It is indeed a complex question, and I have to believe it has something to do with global balance, a coming together communally. What I do know is that there was this kind of cross-pollination between east to west and west to east, and what flourishes and blossoms from that, only time will tell. As my time in India had come to an end, something inside of me spoke to me of where I have been. No longer did I feel a sense of yearning or longing, but rather a sense of belonging. As I passed the sunlit tsunami-thin trees, I knew I had at least planted a seed. On this final day, when I would once more enter into the sea, I knew India and its people had somehow also baptized me. Perhaps it is these sort of marriages, both large-scale and small, is what it will take to bond us globally and where it will benefit us all.
Sing song. What a song says. I want some ice drinking. What's a life? Enjoy doing. Oh, cheers. Enjoy. Give hand. Oh, salute. Okay, come on, salute. Oh, sorry. Cheers. Alright, Tamil singing. கும்பிட போன தெய்வம் குறுக்கே வந்ததம்மா குறுக்கே வந்த தெய்வம் கூட ஆடுதம்மா பாலை ஊத்துடா கூலை ஊத்துடா வேண்டிக்கிட்டு சோலை ஏத்துடா வெட்டு ஒண்ணுதான் துண்டு ரெண்டு தான் வெட்டி வித்த வெங்காயத்தை சோலை ஏத்துடா கும்பிட போற தெய்வம் குறுக்கே வந்ததம்மா குறுக்கே வந்த தெய்வம் கூட ஆசை 100 வகை வாழ்வின் 100 சுவை வா போதும் போதும் என போதை சேர்ந்து வரவா மனமாசை போலவா மனம் போல் வா கொண்டாடலாம் மனம் போல் வா கொண்டாடலாம் ஏய் ஆசை 100 வகை வாழ்வின் 100 சுவை வா போதும் போதும் என போதை சேர்ந்து வரவா முத்துநகம் போலே சுத்தி வரும் பெண்கள் முத்தமழை நீயாட வந்தவரை லாபம் கொண்டவரை மோகம் உன்னுயிரை நீயாடு அங்கே சொர்க்கம் மண்ணில் வர சொந்தம் கண்ணில் வரவா அங்கே சொர்க்கம் மண்ணில் வரும் சொந்தம் கண்ணில் வருமா அங்கே நீயே சென்றாகவே இங்கே நான் தான் வந்தாகவே ஏய் ஆசை 100 வகை வாழ்வின் 100 சுவை வா போதும் போதும் என போதை சேர்ந்து வரவா வா வா